About this time on Tuesdays, we talk to Aaron at Fagan Associates about financial stuff. How are you, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm really good. How about you?
I am good. I figured, it's a good time to talk about credit card debt and, how to get rid of it and, what some guidelines are for putting things on credit. What do you got for us today? What advice do you have?
It's so much easier said than done to be like, pay off whatever you spend on your credit card every month. But, for a lot of Americans, it's just impossible. Between, if medical bills or, your kid's education or just things that pop up like a loss of job. For a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck, it's hard to. But, there's some ways that are the smartest for paying them back.
Our son, recently got a credit card and, kind of ran it up. It's very tempting to have that thing. And now, it's like you're not really just building your credit by having a credit card. It's actually paying it off.
Yeah, exactly. Like Credit Karma, companies like that, Equifax, they try and make sure you're, below the 20% range of your credit limit. So let's say you have, a $10,000 limit, you should try and keep it under $22,000. But, the ways to pay it off are, they're actually called like a debt snowball and debt avalanche, which is, kind of funny names. But like the debt snowball is, you pay, let's say you have 3 credit cards, you pay the one with the lowest balance first. It mentally helps people to get rid of one card at a time.
Okay.
So that's one way to do it. That's not what I recommend. I usually recommend for our clients is what are called a debt avalanche. So you take the card with the highest interest, and then you pay that off first. So that's the way we like to do it.
The interest on a credit card is tricky too. It's like 22%, but is that annual? How does that exactly work?
What the 22% is APR is, it's what you have to pay. So whatever your balance is or your minimum is, that's kind of what that number is. It's usually about 18%, like 12 to 18% now.
Okay.
But another way to consolidate that too is, usually have 15 to 18 months of zero. It's basically a zero APR fee. So basically, what you can do is, let's say you have $5,000 on a credit card, and you're in month 18, you can transfer that credit card to another credit card with 15 to 18 months of, a 0% APR. So you can kind of extend that not paying interest, I guess, to get the card balance down.
Okay, so that interest can stack up pretty quickly at 18%.
Oh, absolutely, and and it's tough to when you start getting into the habit of piling on debt, it's hard to stop. You actually have to set some rules in place for yourself so you don't hit those limits of your credit card and there's nowhere else to go, because then it's going to be hard to get a house. It's going to be hard to get a car loan. It's just going to make your life much more difficult.
It's tough to get that credit card debt down once it's there, but you got to do what you can.
It's easy to say, hey, you should do this, but, a flat tire pops up. A lot of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck. It's, it's kind of the only option. It's easy to say, keep your credit cards down as much as possible, but, the main thing is, try not to put money on your credit cards if you don't have to. Try not to use discretionary spending on credit cards, and try to pay off your balances as quickly as possible.
Okay, perfect. Aaron, if people have questions about best ways to get out of their credit debt and, maybe work some money into investing, how do they get in touch with you guys?
You can give us a call at 518-279-1044. You can email us at investment@FaganAssociates.com. Or you can get a hold of us through LinkedIn, Facebook, or our website, FaganAsset.com, has a little question contact page that we can answer questions from.
Well, I appreciate your feedback on this and your insight. And, I never even thought how much money you could have on your credit card before it starts impacting your credit rating. So that 20% number is pretty helpful.
Yeah, it is. It's 30, but, I always tell people 20 to give them that 10%, 10% wiggle room.
Just gauge you by a little bit more. Okay. All right.
Exactly, yeah.
Thank you, Aaron. We'll talk to you next week. Have a good week, all right?
All right. You too. Thanks a lot, Randy.
This is Randy and Rachel in the morning on 99.5 The River.